Hey everyone, welcome to the video on an update on silver. I haven't done a real analysis on silver in a long time, so I figured that this is probably the right time to do so. What I'm focusing on here is the impulsive move down from April of 2011 down to the bottom, which was right down here, 2014, 2015. And then what's the charting formation that we're currently in right now, and talk about a couple different scenarios. But before I do that, just of course, this isn't financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. The market is extremely risky, and you're responsible for your own trades. You're responsible for managing your own risk and doing your own research. This is just simply my opinion, nothing more. Okay, so let's just talk here for a moment on on what we have in front of us here. It's obvious that we had a large corrective move down, but the question is whether or not this is the start of a bearish impulse, or if we are going to be if we're going to be reversing down here. So one could say that we are in a little bit of a reversal formation down here. So if I move to say like a 3-day time frame, right, and we take a look at this from a much higher time frame perspective, it does look a little bit like we are turning around. Okay, and if we zoom out even more, and I'm on a log scale here, so these prices all the way back here, like $4, $5. I wish I could tell you I bought down here. I didn't. My average spot buy is right around $16, so not extremely impressive, I know. Um, but what we can see just from this chart, we can see that we have a pretty dominant pivot here at about $8.90. These are some things that I talk about a lot. I talk about a lot about support and resistance levels because I do think that they hold some serious importance. And there is something significant there at about $13 and 87 cents. And we'll call it $14 just for good measure. There's something important with that level. Okay, so let's keep that in mind, and then let's also take a look at our oscillators. Again, I'm on a 3-day time frame here, and let's just zoom in here. On the 3-day time frame, we are in a little bit of a squeeze, and I'm not talking about a squeeze in terms of like short squeezes or long squeezes. I'm talking about a squeeze on the Bollinger Bands, and it looks to me like momentum is going to move to the upside some more. So that's something also that I feel is important to mention. I do think that that silver is holding this 20 simple moving average on the 3-day time frame pretty well. And I'm not sure. Yes, I do have some important moving averages here, which I will pay attention to. Right here, we have a rejection on the 200 simple moving average, and then again, this is back on, back to the end of February, and then we pushed through that, and we found support here. Again, this is on a 3-day time frame on the 200 simple moving average, and right now, what we're finding is we're finding support at the 21 exponential on the 3-day time frame. That's a good sign to see. If I move down to a daily, more than likely. Yeah, so we're finding support here at the 55 exponential. Right now we are trading above the 21 exponential and also the 20 simple moving average, which is the median of these Bollinger Bands. So we're trading up at the top of these Bollinger Bands, which leads me to believe, from a squeeze perspective, it does look like we are going to continue to move to the upside. Likely we're going to try back for 19 or 1950 on this, but then going back to a 3-day and removing all of these oscillators, which again the oscillators are looking to be oversold down in this level, which is another reason why I do think that we do have a little more upside ahead of us. But let's take a look at this from a corrective standpoint. It would be very easy for somebody to say that this right here is the start of, from down here at the bottom, this is a 1, 2, then we go up here for the 3, now we're on a 4, and now we're going to go up for the 5. And where that 5 is going to be, well, let's just go ahead and see where that lands and see if it falls in where I have up here for our C. So we're going to take Fibonacci, we're going to look for that 236 extension. This 236 extension does work for just about any asset. So that's at about $21.17. So I could see that as being a high probability target for us. And I had up here my C wave at about 2150. So 2117, that seems like a fairly good target for that. Let's also take a look at this from an ABC correction standpoint. We talk about this all the time in all of my videos that I do when we're analyzing corrective phases. I always put a lot of weight on the trend-based Fibonacci looking for our high probability target zones. So from down here at the bottom, moving up for the wave A, and I've got my regular Fibonacci instead of my trend-based, so let's get that fixed here. My trend-based Fib extension going up here to the top of the A. Moving our way down here to the bottom of the B, almost like a double bottom, our 100% is right there at $21.33. So lots of confluence in this area. The other place or the other price point which I do want to talk about on this, and again, this works for just about any asset. So not only is there confluence there, I'm going to change this to red because this is going to be what I'm going to be expecting as some resistance. Again, in the coming weeks, we're not talking days, we're not talking hours, we're talking weeks. We're literally talking about June of 2020 when we're coming all the way out here. Okay, so just take that with a grain of salt. But the 382, that is an important level as well, because if this is working our way into a 4, so like if this was going down here to a 3, like if this is a 1, 2, 3, then we're going to go up for a 4. We're going to look for an ABC correction into the 4. We can come up here to the $21.30 level. We could come up to the $23 level. The 382 on that entire move is sitting right there at 22.36. So this area, I am expecting there to be significant resistance. So I would be very skeptical on holding. I am a long holder on silver, so I am not going to be selling personally. But this is really up to you. But I did buy in, probably average somewhere around 16. I don't have the exact figures, but I bought around $16. So I'm not going to be selling up here because I do think that long-term silver does have really, really great long-term potential. Most precious metals probably do, especially gold, because of the way that the U.S. economy is currently, sitting. I do think that there is lots of potential for precious metals, crypto, all of these alternate investment media and different assets. I do think that there is a good potential for money to flock from Dow Jones, flock from the S&P into other perceived safe havens. I say perceived because that's really all markets are. They are just speculation. Who is to say that a piece of gold, a piece of metal is worth money? It's all based on speculation and worth that society gives that particular asset. Personally, I prefer silver more than I prefer gold, and the reason why I prefer silver over gold is because you don't need to have a lot in silver for there to be exponential gains, whereas with gold, it's kind of that slow moving beast where it takes a lot more holding for that. And also in case of civil unrest or anything like that, if you're looking for bartering, let's just say worst case scenario, the US dollar is worth 0, we're now going to be trading, back the way that we did hundreds of years ago. We're going to be giving gold and silver as means of payment for things, and silver is going to be the easiest means of trade. So that's one of the reasons why I also hold silver, but I also think that silver has more chances for exponential growth versus gold. So that's what I have on gold right now. I'm looking for this short-term move, and likely it will happen fast in terms of the speed in which this asset moves. So fast for silver, we're talking months. So I don't see a slow grind happening here. I do think that we are going to be moving up. The nice thing on the 3-day time frame is all of our low moving averages are trading above our high moving averages. We did have this cross here, and this is the 100 exponential crossing over the 200 simple moving average. We did have the 55 exponential move above the 200 simple moving average quite a while ago. And this again, I'll point this out because a lot of people say, we have a golden cross, we're going to be moving up. Okay, well look at this. We had the 55 exponential move above the 200 simple moving average, and what happened? The price went down, and it was actually when the 100 exponential moved above the 200 simple moving average that we had this large move up. So, as far as seeing these, yeah, this was a bullish cross, but that usually means that the price is going to start to gravitate back towards it. We had the support here at the 21 exponential on the 3-day time frame. We're continuing to have support there. So if you are swinging silver, I would have your stop loss set there at about $17.45. Otherwise, I do think that we're going to get some more upside, and so yeah. That's what I've got on that. I'm looking to be doing, as somebody suggested on our Discord server, which, by the way, if you'd like an invite to our Discord server, just throw a comment in the comments here on this video, and I'll be more than happy to get you an invite to it. But I am looking to be a little more speculative and giving more opinion on global assets, looking at Dow Jones, maybe looking at at the London markets, at the Chinese and Hong Kong markets, as well as always doing my updates on crypto, but also keeping an eye on definitely the U.S. markets and other international markets, and watching how the ebbs and flows of these shift over time, and how a descent in one market can trigger an ascent in another market. Investments tend to flow out of one market and into another. So what I'm going to be starting to aim to do is to kind of analyze what those shifts can be, and how we can try and get in on those shifts as they move. So I'll be keeping an eye on that. Anyway, feel free to like, subscribe, share, all of that, and I will catch you all.